Good morning, one and all. A warm welcome. Myself, Kaushik, business executive at ManHCI. We welcome you back to the 12th webinar of Saturday webinar series on the topic IoT-based startups in agriculture and allied sectors. Speaking about the Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship, the Incubation Center of National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management. It's one of the leading agribusiness incubators in India and has incubated more than 210 startups from different sectors like agri and allied sectors spread across India. Currently, there is a digital revolution for industries and businesses, and technologies like IoT, machine learning, and artificial intelligence in agriculture and allied sectors are rapidly advancing to meet the growing demand for food. Internet of Things refers to the device embedded with a sensor so that they can measure and transmit the data via internet. And it is changing the way how agriculture and allied sectors work. These devices can be used in pump sheds, radio frequency device sensors, and tractors and whatnot. And I request Dr. Saga Deshmukh to give us initial remarks. Thank you.
Good morning and warm welcome to everyone. So, as we see that agriculture sector is being transformed by the enthusiasts, the entrepreneurs who are coming up with a lot of innovation and a great zeal, also accompanied with the technological knowledge which paves way for reforms in the sector. And they are, with their able leadership, they are able to make certain significant improvements in the traditional practices which we are doing from a long time. And indeed, these technological interventions are scalable, and we can see that many startups who have technological advancements along with them coming up with major improvements. Let's say to take a few examples like geographical mapping, weather-based information, customized crop advisory, or let's say automation in the farms, custom hiring centers, and all. So many things are there wherein we need a lot of interventions, and these startups are rightly bringing up those transformations and interventions in this sector, which is pretty much unorganized and has a potential to bring it more structured or organized way. And we also see that the startups which are coming up with the IoT, or let's say machine learning or artificial intelligence based technologies, they are trying to connect these scattered dots across the sector. So the better efficiency or efficacy is getting into the system, and we can see that all the stakeholders, let's say whether it's the manufacturing side or it is a government or it is a customer or the farmer, or the logistics or transportation partners, all of them are getting benefited because of these improved changes, and people are becoming more aware and more dependent also on these areas. And we also see that this is like we take more informed decisions based on the suggestions, or what we say, the predictions which machines or the technology is giving us, so that we can have a better decisions and get then better benefited out of these initiatives. So these are like really wonderful experiences which we are witnessing. And uh, like we are also witnessing that these startups which are coming up in the sector, they are also growing, and the stakeholders are also wherever they are finding, they are able to add value into the system. So each and every part and parcel of the system, let's say the entire supply chain or the value chain, is getting improvised, and all these initiatives are bringing up new life to the sector. So similar experiences we will be having now. So our two panel members or the two experts will be sharing with us this their journey, their experiences, and how they were able to bring out new systems, new innovations in our existing traditional system. So we will listen with their experiences. We will put up certain queries if we find it anything relevant to be asked, to be sorted out. So that we will learn from them and we will understand simultaneously. Thank you. Now, Mr. Kaushik may introduce the experts, and we can take the session further.
Thank you, Dr. Sagar Deshmukh, business manager as well as the assistant professor at Manage Incubation. And would request two speakers. Initially, we shall go with Mr. Gautaman Ramasamy, currently Vice President of Cultivate.in, also worked at Center for Infectious Disease Research for 14 years. He's also done his PhD at International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, Master's degree in Molecular Biology and Biotechnology at Indian Agricultural Research Institute, and Bachelor of Science in Agriculture at Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. A skilled molecular biology and bioinformatics researcher with 12 years of experience in tool development, analyzing large-scale genomics data, and performing molecular biology experiments. A creative problem solver, team worker, and initiator of new projects with a love to take ownership. I request Dr. Gautaman Ramasamy to start his session. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for unmuting. Kaushik, that's a really good introduction. Thank you very much for that kind words. And so just before I start talking about the company that I started, it's called Cultivate. I would like to say a few thanks. So I read the book Outliers. So it talks about these very successful people across the world. Um, and it also claims that they are not there just because of their own merit. They are there because of the opportunities presented to them. It talks about how Bill Gates got where he is and what are the opportunities favored uniquely to him to get there. So to that extent, I would like to thank people who gave me the opportunities. Like first is to manage. I really appreciate the Incubation Center for all the support and opportunity that gives us for me to grow in this direction, specifically to Dr. Saravanan sir and Dr. Sagar. And you both been really helpful all along. And you know my story well than my family. Thank you. And also, I'd like to acknowledge the TNAU team, Dr. Jnana Sambandam, CEO, for all the support they gave, and the entire team from TNAU Incubation Center. So really appreciate Kavita and who are calling me every time. So with that away, sorry, thank you, Yuvraj, and thank you, Kaushik, for organizing this. Really appreciate that. Hopefully, I'm audible and clear, or should I speak a little differently?
Yes, sir, you're good, sir.
Thank you. So the Cultivate, I just Cultivate with a K. So that's the name of the company. It took more time to come up with the name than the idea. So our idea currently, we evolved into a system where we are creating tools and technologies to help enterprises and then government institutions to reach the farmers effectively. So you'll see that, like, I'm not talking about farmers directly as such in the core principle. We do some projects like that, but mostly we create tools to reach out farmers. You might ask why. So like everybody, I also when I came back and started this venture, started with a huge dream. We did some experiments, and then it looked okay on paper. So we thought, like, okay, all I need to make is in a mobile application and take it to the farmers. They will be very, hungry to grab this mobile application and then use that technologies, like advisories I provide them, and then improve their yield. That was very naive of me, of course. So people did not really buy anything. Even if when I give free, they would just, give me a coffee or tea, talk to me nicely, and then, they will probably never open that mobile application again. And there are time to time people even ask, okay, all this is good, Gautaman. Is there a button I can click so that it starts raining now? So, faced with such a daunting work, I realized that I'm not someone who are engineered to go and work with farmers directly. It's absolutely wonderful field. It just doesn't fit me, I guess, or at least my objectives. So then we started looking what we can do. But I still want to contribute to this. This is the reason why I left everything and came back. So then we thought, like, there are already established channels across India who are very good at this. I'm not. So how can I help these people so that they reach their farmers effectively? So in turn, translate everything. If I started browsing mobile applications for agriculture in Android or Apple, it's really not up to the quality, except a few exceptions. They are just, one common thing is they are all in green color, but everything other common thing is they are all ugly. And they don't use really the latest technologies. Mostly, I'm not talking about every single one of them. At least 5 years back. So what we wanted to do was wanted to bring in the technologies available to other industries, like, transport industries, like, uses like the latest technology. Just dry cleaner uses very ultra modern technology to collect the clothes from the homes and deliver it for the dry cleaning. Why not agriculture and farmers? So that's the kind of questions we asked. So instead of reaching out the farmers, we wanted to go and equip the enterprises who already are in touch with farmers, and then help them with the technology so they reach the farmers more efficiently. And then they expand their business, they scale their business with an ease. So only thing that should stand is the only limitation I'll rephrase it. We want to take out the technology limitations for these companies from being efficient, from being scalable. So that's what we set up to do. And then in the last 3 years, I think we are going towards that, marching towards that goal, though the goal is far away and to completion. So we are getting someplace. We are currently working with the government institutions. One example would be Tamil Nadu government, the horticulture department. We are providing technologies for them. We are also providing technologies to Rajasthan government and Madhya Pradesh government. We are also working with FPOs and cooperatives. We are working with the two FPOs, which one of them is ranked among top 10 internationally. It's called Velliyangiri Ulavan, that is located in Coimbatore. And we are working with these cooperative institutions. Avin is something like a Amul in Tamil Nadu. So we are working with Amul. So we help them digitize their entire operation from farmers to the doorstep delivery of milk. So we are working with them. So they are transacting 1 crores of rupees every single day through our systems. And then we are also working with private enterprises who are into contract farming. One example would be, which I'll be talking a little deeper in a few minutes, is marigold cultivation. A Chinese company. It's a subsidiary in India. It's called CCGB. So they are into cultivating marigold with a few thousand farmers collecting the marigold and then processing it. So we are working with them. But how we are using different technologies from machine learning, artificial intelligence, and prediction statistics to help them to optimize their business. We can we talk about it a little bit. We're also working with a few corporates like Marico, the parachute oil company. So we created the entire software system for them and their field officers to go and connect with the farmers and to provide the extension services to the farmers. So in all that, one common thread is that we work with systems that touches farmers, that directly translates something to farmers. It makes their life a little better than what it was yesterday. So that is our objective. So pretty much in every single case, that is true. So with that, I'm going to go into the three examples of what we are doing in little more detail. But I just wanted to encourage everybody that I don't have any slides today. The one reason is that I just wanted to have this as a more like a conversation. So please feel free to stop me, ask questions in between. If I don't listen, just let me, so I'll stop and then we can talk. Sometimes it's hard to wait until end. It's okay. I like that. So if you have questions or if you want to give suggestions, please feel free. I won't be offended. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. We shall take the Q&A in the last. So meanwhile, people can post their questions in the chat box so that it will be easy for all.
Sure, that works too. Yeah. But if I'm not clear, please, by all means, raise your hands.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure. And let's start with one of the work that we do is we do a couple different work. One of that we do with Tamil Nadu government, the horticulture department specifically, is to enable the government officials to reach out to the farmers. So they have instituted, we advocated for this, and then it became a part of a budget speech in Tamil Nadu. What we advocated them is so if you look at the, I'll step back for a second, and if you look at the agricultural extension system in any state, the last level employees, department employees are supposed to go and meet the farmers and provide extension services. But in reality, all they do is write reports and distribute schemes, and they're completely removed from that mandate. So we wanted to bring that back into the system. So we talked to different policy people, and who. So recently, the government, the Prime Minister, not Prime Minister, Chief Minister announced in the state that. There will be a Ulavar Aluvalar Torrabu Thittam. So which means the field officer and farmers connection, contact point system. So through this, we made a schedule for every single one of the employees in the department with a mandate to do agriculture extension, and we also fixed a schedule for them. They're supposed to go to every village panchayat twice a month, and then they are supposed to provide advisory service. They have a meeting. They provide advisory service to those meetings. They also need to identify at least 10 farmers who are progressive farmers, and then support them. And then in due course, there will be a cascading effect from those farmers. So we created a complete digital systems for them to use this, and then the meeting information is telecasted to them. They will be able to go and record the actual meeting, the voice recording, the description, and the farmers are enrolled into the system. So their demands are enrolled into the system. The question and answers are enrolled into recorded in the system. So this way we are digitizing, reaching out to the farmer. As a background to this, and before even this started, this is a very recent work we started doing. before even we started this, we set out to digitally map the farmlands, geospatially map all the farmlands of Tamil Nadu. That's a really ambitious project we took up. So what we have done is we created a system, software system, where a multitude of people, like volunteers, the students who are stuck in hometown because of COVID, they can use the system and then go and map their neighboring fields. Simple maps, you go, you don't even need to walk around the field. So you will be presented with the Google map. Then you'll see the boundaries of the fields on the map. So you touch along the lines, and then you typically map that. Once you create the polygon, and then you say this field belongs to this particular farmer, and then record few minor things like whether it has a micro irrigation installed or not, what kind of crop is standing there. So basic information. Sometimes you don't even need to talk to the farmers for this to happen. We want to kind of compromise a little bit on the amount of information with the coverage. So we kind of encourage, if you know somebody in the local area, you take him along for a ride. He should be able to identify this field is this farmer, this field is that farmer. You record that. So this is how we started doing the geospatial mapping of farms in Tamil Nadu. So we have done a few thousand hectares so far, which and hoping that we will be able to finish it in 1 year or 2 years time, the entire Tamil Nadu. So the objective is every single farm is geospatially mapped with the farmer name and other things. So this information, we also developed a system. This information will be readily available to be shared with others. Often what happens is in a project, the people collect the information, they stays in one place. It's not being shared among the department. It's not being shared among even different projects of the same department. So we set out to change that. So we are creating a system that is like kind of a universally available, of course protected. You need to have a credentials to access it, but you can easily get into conversation with the department official and get the information that you need. So that is one work that we are doing, and we are very proud of. And it's going slowly than our ambitious plan for obvious reasons, and I know you all get that. But nevertheless, it is going. So that is what we are happy about. So then that is all about we're doing a few more work on that, but I'm just want to stop there on that work. The one reason, maybe I'll step back and then talk about another thing. We all talk about large scale data analysis, data science, AI, ML, but if you look at the requirements for these, it's not the algorithms. Algorithms are okay. We need algorithm, we need computers, we need even people who are good at it, but more than that, we need the data. If you look at the data that actually available with different organizations, I'm not sure if I can say this in a politically correct way. They are not usable. That's all I wanted to say. So unless you are in a position to create data, like Sagar said, there are dots scattered around. Right? We need to connect them. We need to have a good data, and we need to arrive at any conclusion. We need a good data, but that is not there. A lot of data is made up data. So we also want to change that. We want to bring in authenticity to the data. So you collect little, that's okay. But when you collect that little, we should we should be able to authenticate it. So that is again that we are trying to do. So coming from genomics, one of the ways we do that is like when you sequence a genome, it's like a chromosome, you sequence from left to right, you sequence it 10 times and then overlap it and then find the mistakes. What is wherever the majority, you solve it. So we are also trying to do that. So we have the region mapped by more than one people to resolve a lot of discrepancies. That is working very well so far. I think there is a question from Dr. Abhishek Dubey. Is there any certificate of participation? Yes, there is a certificate of participation. So we are still finalizing that, but it will be from both Cultivate us and also from the government. So that system is not finalized, but we are talking about it. And we also, if somebody is trying to do that in a large scale, like 100 acres, 200 acres, we even have money for per acre basis. We can do that. We have money allotted for that purpose. So if you have anyone in Tamil Nadu, a student or enthusiast willing to do that, all they need is a smartphone to earn some money. So we'll do that. And along with that, last time when I spoke with Dr. Sagar, he also encouraged me to look at a model where we can encourage the local people to be advisors to the farmers, kind of developing a permanent, micro entrepreneur. We are also looking at it. If we have people, we'll definitely look at it. So there are a lot of questions coming up about cost and everything. I'll definitely talk about it. Maybe once I in a question and answer section, if someone can read that back, I'll answer one after other. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
they were initially asking for services provided by your organization and application for market rate for small farmers.
Sorry. How much it costs to farmer if opted IoT for 1 hectare land? Okay, so I just wanted to talk here, Mr. Sripur. So I'm not doing IoT. I'm not setting up smart tools everywhere and then having it connected. So definitely I can't answer that. So we are more of an ICT company. We use internet and communication technologies to collect the data, make interpretation for the department or the private institutions. They will take it to the farmer. So we are not that. Um, I think okay. There is a question called how IoT helps rural farmers. So again, I'm not equipped to talk about IoT. It's more of an ICT. So if I can provide the right information to them, a specific information to them, that helps. And all I'm doing is here in this project connecting the experts with the farmers. I'm not even replacing them. I'm just making them efficient, making them usable, because oftentimes it is that connection which helps. I hear a lot of things from TV, radio. I'm not going to go and do it unless I hear it from a person in front of me to my face. Then I'll go and buy that azospirillum. Then I go and buy that micronutrient mixer and spray it. So that is something that we are helping these organizations to do. Rather than replacing them, we are enabling them to be efficient. And then this guy doesn't need to remember everything about that farmer. So it is on his fingertips. So every conversation he made, every crop he cultivated is on his mobile application, the advisor's mobile application. So he can quickly go and say, okay, this field you are cultivating banana for last 4 times. Please change it. This information will never be available otherwise. So unless we track it across for a long time. So that's what we provide. Okay. Okay, so is it okay if I go ahead with the, I'm just reading questions.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, it's for technology, especially traceability. So yeah, talking about traceability. Yes. So there was a question about traceability. Yes, we do provide traceability for a next project I'm going to talk about, where we are collecting the information about the field. From cultivation, what are the steps involved in cultivation? Our traceability doesn't start from procurement. It starts from land preparation. Then you can even we'll collect the information, which vehicle was used to collect that, which vehicles were pooled together to make the new batch. So, and then in the processing, you can also collect individually what happened in each stage, how much is discarded, how much is tweaks, how much is impurity. So all this can be tracked. And then this information will be made available to the buyers. So we do provide traceability information on a different project. Yes, I can talk about it later. Maybe one on one. So oh my god. So beekeeping. Oh, this there's so many questions coming up. Okay.
I guess Dr. Gautam, and it will be good if you can like finish your pitch and then we can take up debates. In other words,
I
it would
started.
disturb the flow.
Yeah, I started feeling that. Thank you. I'll do that. The other work we are doing is for Arvin. It's one of the example of cooperative departments. So the Arvin and is again similar to Amul of Gujarat, or Mother Dairy of Delhi. They collect, we have a catchment area of, like, where the farmers are located. So we are creating this cooperative societies. There are, like, 400 societies in the Coimbatore district where we are working. So we have information about all the societies, geotagged, geomapped, and digitized. So their farmer members are being digitized. We are into the process of adding their cattle's also into the system. That is not started yet, but we have the farmers and the societies, and then they are all connected to the Central Federal Urban Corporation of Coimbatore, and then we have factories. So we track the entire milk flow information from the farmer into this. And then the once the milk is collected and processed, which we don't work on it, and there is someone else is doing all that. Then comes the distribution of it. And there are 8,000 customers in Coimbatore city, and the individual family customers, they use our applications to order milk from the corporation. They pay money through our system. They get delivered to their doorsteps. And also, there are, like, 1,000 agents who are across Tamil Nadu, the Coimbatore city. They have milk parlors where they collect milk from the oven and then distribute to the customers, either at doorsteps or at their stores. So we provide a way for them to order every day, and based on their requirements. What they used to do until we started is, they every day, all the 1,000 people send one person with the cash and tomorrow's requirement to a common place, the Darwin office. They pay money physically there, and then place the order. So what we have done is, like, digitizing everything. So within few months, 70% of the agents move to a digital system, where they can just go and pay online using credit card, debit card, and a bank. Also, if you have only cash, they can go and deposit in any of the local branches, and then they can place order via our mobile app. So it's a cool system. So we are transacting 1.25 crores every single day through this system, only on the agent side, and farmer amounts are, like, completely different. So we are completely digitizing this oven infrastructure, both catchment and distribution of milk in Coimbatore. So that is one thing I wanted to mention, and also talk about a marigold cultivation, which is that kind of a contract farming setup. So there is this company located in Karnataka, Shamraj Nagar area. So what we have done is, we digitized their entire operation, especially the field visit operations. So the way they do is, they take the seed and give it to the agents in the local area, and the agents enroll farmers to cultivate the marigold. The seeds are given to them. The nurseries are raised in the farmer fields, transplanted, and then grown, harvested, and sent back to the factory. And the agent kind of enrolls the farmers and then provides seeds, but agents are not equipped to give the advisory. They don't know. They know only the business side of things. They don't know the cultivation side of things. So the company employs field officers who will go around the farms and then provide advisory on, like, every single stage. So we created a system for this to happen efficiently. Within 2 months of time, just eight officers, digitized all 3,000 acres of this particular year's operation. That was, like, that was I was told that the money they paid us is just enough for that. Like, they're satisfied. That's their return of investment. That's what I was told. So the GM of this company is so into data analysis, so he wanted to overlay data of the different years, different seasons. They even record what is the crop on the right side of the field, what is the left side of the field, what is east and west side of field, so that they can say if the particular field has more pest occurrence, is it because of this. They want to track whether the same farmer, usually the farmers does this year after year, season after year, whether he is planting on the same area again and again. They want to identify that and provide advisory to that. So we provide the solutions for that. We collect the data, geo information data, how the farm, whether they applied every single steps that is recommended to them. So all this is tracked and then provide help create an intelligence to the factory or the management, so they direct the agents to provide proper advisory. So that is what we do. So I just want to reiterate it. We are creating tools, so the business mechanism or the extension mechanism works very efficiently, becomes scalable. There was so much resistance from the field officers initially. They wouldn't even, they'll just keep complaining the app is not working, crashing, 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 only to find they never even tried. When we told that we even know that whether you downloaded or not, then they started behaving. Now they're feeling so happy. Okay, without the system, how did we work so far? Because they don't have to make any report anymore. They just need to visit the farm, collect the data. Report generation is the software's business. It is not the field officer's business. You capture the data. So again, I want to go back to Dr. Sagar's point before. There are dots scattered around. We need to connect them. Yes. Also, what we do is we are throwing more dots to be scattered. We scatter more dots so that it can be connected efficiently. We provide a mechanism those dots. They can be connected efficiently and advised efficiently. That is the purpose of our system. So that's what we do. We have a factory with a certain capacity. So based on the cultivation in this 3,000 acres, we know the company wanted to know how much produce comes every single morning, single afternoon, because without knowing that, one day they'll have a huge amount of flour coming in. They don't know whether to store it or send it to the factory. So these decisions were very hard to make before, but now we know who planted when. All these 1,000 farmers, we know when they were planted and how well the crop is grown, what was their previous harvest. So at any particular day, we give a projection. We predict it. Today you are expected to have 10 tons of flour or 8 tons of flour. So the company works accordingly, the factory runs accordingly, then they channeled accordingly. So either to storage or siloed or whatever it is, they can now make a better decision in live, in real time, not after the season is over. They wanted to do it every single day. So we created a system for that. We can also working on creating a system where you can plan the planting. Let's not give seeds to everyone every single day. So can we do it in a staggered way so that their flow is of good quality? The factory is run all through the season. It can never be run all through the year, but it can be run through that season. So that's the kind of work that we have started doing for this company. So we'll definitely, we can, if you're having questions and yield predictions and things like that, we can definitely talk about it. And also, I'll talk about just one more story. It's an FPO. I just wanted to touch, one example in each domain that we are working on. I'll have a small story about an FPO. So it's a nationally ranked FPO. It came among top 10, got an award from Prime Minister in UP a year back. So what they do is, it's a coconut belt. So many coconut trees, they have 1,082 farmers and then 700 of them growing coconut. What they have done is they have labor, their own labor. There are 5 or 6 labor teams with the FPO. These people help harvesting, all these operations of the coconuts. I think it needs to be harvested every 40 days. Every field is every 40 days or something. I could be wrong on the number. So we have set up a system that will show whose fields are ready to be harvested, in what order they need to be harvested. Then we assign the labor team automatically to them. So the farmer need not to worry about when to harvest it, whether his 40 days is over, whether he has to go and find a labor for that. So all that is taken care by the software. Very, very simple system. We just created only this for them. what this FPO does is whether you have 100 coconut trees or 10 acres of coconut tree, doesn't matter. They collect the nuts, pool in the regions together. So you pull the nuts together in one place. While before you pull, you keep an account of who gave how much coconuts and everything. So now even the small farmer kind of looks big, because in a cooperative. So they can get a bargain price, a better price with the traders. And once they sell it, the money is divided back. So even we are giving an advantage to a small farmer to look big in front of a trader. So this is all they're done in their business model. We just gave a digital solutions to them. It's not that we implemented, we changed the way it's done, but it's been done manually. We made it really easy and scalable. It's nobody's headache now. The previous day, the labor team knows where to go, how to harvest, and how much to harvest and everything. And if any field is overrun, then we assign special warnings to them so that they work to go and harvest without that being too late. Um, um, so these are all the few examples I wanted to touch upon today. I think it's 11:40. Unless there are I think we can open up for the question and answers. So there is a question. While waiting for you to ask questions, is it okay if I read the questions from here and then I try to answer them as much as possible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I really I think I will refrain from talking about the cost in a group. The reason for that is it's not that I'm greedy or anything, but because we have charged from 0 rupees to a few lakhs rupees, depending. So I cannot charge same money as I charged. I know I cannot charge an FPO the same amount of money I charge the Merico. So the let this be a kind of a what is our capability, what kind of technology we provide. Cost is depending on where you come from, definitely. So we will take that question one on one, if that is okay with everybody. So I'll probably skip answering the cost question from now on, because it's a very, very different numbers for different people. It's very cheap. Okay, so yeah, so you have implemented the coconut system has been implemented in Coimbatore. The FPO is called Velliyangari Ulavan. How much it cost? I'm going to skip that cost since you mentioned this. Okay, so everybody asking for my ID, so I'm getting famous. Okay. Gautaman. It's Gautaman at cultivate.in. That's my email. My other email is gauragautaman@gmail.com. That's Ramasamy Arya Gautaman. I can even share my phone number if that is needed. Is that okay to share the phone number, Kaushik?
Sagar sir, can you just
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. No issue.
Okay, thank you, Sagar. Okay, so there are my phone number. Kaushik, or like if you see question that I'm skipping, please you can very well ask for on behalf of them.
okay, sir.
Yeah, the Shubhini Nair said, so you map the entire procurement supply chain network and facilitate the effective function of logistic of milk distribution. Yes, that is correct. What we don't do is handle the factory management. We don't do that. But we collecting indent, making indent, trucks leaving, logistics, that we take care of. I do see someone from Gujarat echoing that sentiment. Thank you. Um, uh, how IoT can be applied in beekeeping? I do not know if I do not know about answering on the extension side of things, field side of things, but business probably you can use beekeeping, apps and stuff like that to promote the thing. But Devendra, if I can sit with you and then understand your problems, then we can come up with a solution. If we can even. Okay, so not every system might need an IoT or ICT, but first thing we may need to look at it is if your business needs to have a system, whether your business will help benefit from the system. And a lot of times I turn down a project just because they're just overshooting it. Um, People call MVP, like, if you want to, last week a person came to me and then said they have 10 cows and they want an app so that they sell milk across across city. I said, like, there is no need for that system with 10 cows unless you started going to collect from other farmers, or you are going to have 100 cows, each milking like 20 liters. This investment might not work for you. So definitely, it's better to ask that questions whether it's really needed. It doesn't. You look at the investment and you look at whether it can really make a change in, like, either customer or the production line. Then definitely we can invest in it. And oftentimes, even when the answer is yes, it's likely that there are some solutions available already um, that might work very well for you. So in that case, it's always wise to use that system. And once you outgrow that system, you can always, come and create a dedicated system for your company. So I just wanted to caution you. It's not because I'm making a software, I want everybody to uh, uh, come and make a software. Thank you, Vijay Kumar, for a marigold experience. Samraj, yeah, for your comment.
So the question is marketed for small farmers regarding the IoT applications. If you have covered, that's okay, sir. If not, you can answer the question.
Sorry, marketing. Can you repeat that?
IoT application for market rate, like what would be the cost which is dealt with the small farmers for the IoT devices?
So I understand you are asking whether I have done any market rate information system for the farmers. Is that correct?
No, sir. The question was, what is the IoT application for market rate for small farmers?
If you're asking me how much it costs to set up a system for small farmers, again, it's a cost question that we'll discuss individually about your requirement. But if the question is if I have made any system to make the market information available to the farmer, yes. So one example that I did not speak today is we created a system for Mumbai ICR institutions, which is into promoting inland shrimp culture, aquaculture. So we collect the market rate from different markets across India, especially Andhra and other things, and that information is made available to the inland fishery farmers through the mobile application. So that we have done. Yes, that is my website, which I haven't looked at in for years. So there is a question about how IoT helps FPOs in the field. The one example is our coconut system. It's more of a ICT rather than IoT. So I can theoretically answer IoT questions, but I'm not an expert. Maybe the other speaker could address a lot of these questions. So there is a Kuniru Lakshman. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. How IoT helps a farmer in input management, basically. The one thing in one part of the government proposal is the following. We So we have multiple protocols stored for a particular purpose. Let's take paddy. We have 6 different types of paddy protocols. One is dryland paddy cultivation. Another is wetland paddy cultivation. Even within wetland, we have an organic method or low input method or SRA method. So we have different protocols for different approaches. At the start of the cultivation, if a farmer chooses, I want to follow this protocol, then the inputs and the recommendations and the schedules and everything is customized. We have the template. We now take that template, apply it to that farmer's date of sowing, the area of sowing, and the method, and then we customize it. Now we send the farmers information about what exactly he needs to do on a day 8, day 9 day. It is for them. We even say Avani 8 that is a Tamil month and Tamil date. So Avani 8 you go and do this particular analysis, particular activity on the field. So and then that is customized for that area of his cultivation. If you have done it for only 0.5 acres, we provide exact amount for 0.5 acres. And we also advise our advice is based on some of the good agriculture manufacturing practices. We don't encourage people to go and spray the chemicals all around the year and things like that. So we even provide advices like if in a standard advice they tell you when to do what we do is, like, even if there is no activity needs to done on that day, we ask them to go and check for um, if it is half acre, ask them to check 10 to 10 tillers, and then look for a black spot, because this region, this time is where you might get this particular disease. The early symptoms of that is a black dot in the base of the tiller. So when people observe that early on, they can do kind of a more of a preventive or an early intervention than waiting for 10% of the crops to be damaged. So we encourage people, our instructions are such that pretty much we encourage them to go to the field and look for one or other. So this way we identify things early, so we help them that way. So this brings down the input cost. So I think it's a long answer to that question. Anis Mohammed is saying about Tamil Nadu is a step ahead in adopting new innovative technologies in agri sector. Yeah, I believe TNA plays an important. Yes, it definitely does. I'm incubated there, and I got my BSc Agriculture from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. Quite proud of that, and thank you for that positive comment, Mr. Anis. I very much recognize Srimanta from West Bengal. Um, Srimanta, thank you for comment. It's Srimanta, the group is a good friend of mine. I'm sorry I didn't touch the work that I did with you and Organic. That's one of actually I touched upon it. Like, the system we developed for you is the one which provides a traceability, right? Every step of the way, you can identify how much is polished, how much is stones in the this thing. So traceability is not just where it came from. Traceability is how it was cultivated, how it was produced, and where it was transported, how processed, what else happened to the rest of the items, and then how it stored, how it went to got to the customer. That we did for the Srimanta is also, I think, listening from part of this group today. Yeah, thanks for your wishes. How IT works for output marketing. That Bharati Palanichami's question, that I probably you need to, it's a business idea. So you tell me what you're doing, then we'll tell you how IT will help you with that. Okay. If you have time, I'll give you one other example we did, especially answering this, how IT works for output marketing. There is a 60-year-old company in Coimbatore. It's a small family-owned business. Their main product is copra. Copra is the dried coconut. The people use it to extract oil, and some places they use it for cooking purposes. So these people, for 60 years, 3 generations, they do the copra trading. collecting from farmers around Coimbatore, selling it to Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, and all those coconut consuming countries where it cannot grow. And they wanted to start their distribution in Rajasthan. They haven't done it before. So what we help them with, how IT helped them is, we set up a system where we created an app and given to the people in the Rajasthan, the not the home people, but all those the mandis and traders or even the local shop owners. They can place an order to this person. Just only for copra, this many bags, this quality, this many bags, this quality. That's it. Then this order gets pulled in Tamil Nadu. It's sent to the factory guy, and then he packs those bags and puts it in a truck. The trucks leaves every once or twice a month from here, and it goes to Rajasthan, Jaipur, Raipur, and all that stuff. And then as the truck leaves, we tell them that your items is shipped and it's coming on the way, just like Amazon does. And then depending on their location, they can, if the buyer is en route to the truck, they can come and collect it from the driver. He has a mobile app which he can share the data and then collect it, or it gets stored in different cold storages across the in 2-3 cities. I think it's in Jaipur and Jaisalmer, I think. I forgot. So in those places. So then once the item is stored, a message is sent to the person who placed the order. He can, and then the person placed the order doesn't need to come. He usually have his favorite dealer, transporter, logistic transporter, local transporter attached to his name. So we will intimate that guy. He will come pick it up and go and deliver it. So the entire Rajasthan distribution is done with one guy. Just one guy to monitor this, ask questions, because many people do not want to place the orders on the mobile phone because they don't have it and they're not ready to use another system. So what we have done is, many people sometimes just order this guy and place an order. Everything happens automatically. It gets shipped from Coimbatore, the dedicated truck goes and either dropped off or left at storage center, and logistic guy will come and pick that bag and then deliver it. So that is the power of IT. You don't need 25 people to manage Rajasthan marketing. Just one guy. He is also getting a commission guy. It's not a dedicated guy. You get a commission for each of the orders, kind of a thing. So that's how we do. And then when the good thing happened is, when they want to file an IT, all I had to do was expose the system to his auditor. He pulled every single data. So the data that he got for Rajasthan marketing is such an easy data. The auditor felt so happy compared to everything else, every other export data they had for that particular business. So that is the power of IT. And thank you for that comment. I'll definitely do that. I think I'm counting last 4 minutes, and how IoT can help D2C, direct to customer online food service. And I think there are a lot of examples of it. One thing we did was, we created a system for distribution of Natukoli, the country chicken cut in the local farm, to Coimbatore customers. So they used a simple app to enroll, get orders, and then get it delivered. We can definitely talk about it if you can ping me separately. So I don't want to talk Sriram's the next speaker's time. Is there any question that I missed? And I probably won't be able to go back and then find it out. If you can just say it again, I can answer that. Or if it is, my time is up, either Dr. Shagar or Yuvraj can stop me here.
Kaushik, if next speaker is ready, we can stop here and we can see if there are other questions. We can take it at the last.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Mr. Gautaman Ramasamy, for sharing your experiences regarding the ICTs and the IoT. And we shall go with the next speaker, Mr. Sriram Ravi. Mr. Sriram Ravi is the founder and managing director of Aerobaka Technologies. Sriram founded Aerobaka Technologies after taking a closer look at the problems faced by the aquaculture farmers. Prior to that, he spent 6 years at Centurion Communications designing high-performance semiconductor solutions for broadband access networks. And he's obtained his bachelor's degree from Koneru Lakshmaya College of Engineering. Request Mr. Sriram Ravi to start his session. Thank you. Mr. Sriram Ravi is logged out again, and he shall log in shortly again. And meanwhile, we can go with a couple of questions. I
Okay.
shall unmute all.
Okay, Praveen, I think I got just everyone. I got a lot of your phone numbers and emails. I'll try to copy the chat and then save it and then get back to you one after other. If I don't, please, I just put mine one more time and then please don't feel offended. Please get back to me. So Bharat, I read your message. You're from CARE. We'll definitely we'll definitely talk how we can help, or like if there is something, some other solution available immediately, I'll definitely mention that to you. And I read a message from Mr. Gopalakrishnan about his work in Jaipur. Definitely, I was there working with the Mr. Saravanan IAS, the director of horticulture from for Rajasthan government. So we can get connected that way also. And I have to, I forgot to say something, like I thank everybody, like it's I don't think I've been in such a forum for a very long time now. So it's Sagar, I have to say I'm really impressed, like that kind of interest, and then kind of eager to do things and work, collaborate. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's going great.
Yes, I'm used to, like please ask me questions, and then everybody start looking at left or right or down, especially when colleges. So I really appreciate. It's more hopeful now.
Actually, we are thankful to the participants. Participants are really making sessions lively, and they are really interested to understand new stuff, new information, and they wish they want to implement that also. So that is like more interesting part of the this webinar series.
Yes, I'm really thrilled about it. Like that's what I started saying. That the thanking all the interaction. Sorry, I again missed it. Thank you for bringing it up. Yes, I will remember this talk, and I remember talks for different reasons. This is for a very positive reason.
The audience can shoot some questions.
Gautam, good afternoon. I'm Saravanan speaking.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Gautam, anyway, the many startups many are very much interested, it seems. They want to work with you.
Yes, sir.
And instead of one-on-one, maybe you can tell, depending upon small needs, connecting some 100 participants or something like that. Some range, if you are telling, what is the cost, that will be good, even though you don't want to tell. But something, it's a minimum, some small requirement for connecting some 100 farmers, how much it come. Some farmer producer organizations are there. and something because no, they are paid about many maybe cost, but I know it is a creative depending upon the work and what are things you are taking. I understand, but still, no, for some producer organization, something they want to do small way. And what is the minimum requirement, something like that? No, you can tell some range, so that they will be very keen to contact you. They can also think something to do.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. It's a tough spot. So, initially, when we started, one of the things where we failed is initially we started, especially with Srimanta and other people, uh, per farmer based price. Uh, so that did not work very well for several reasons. So everybody asked different facilities, and it becomes very impossible for us to bring everything into one platform and then giving it to you subscribe it, you get this, like 5 farmer cost, 10 farmer cost. We couldn't come up with that, sir. So what we are doing now is create a system only for them, customize the system for them and give it to them. So we charge the software, not the number of farmers. You handle with 1,000, 12,000, 2,000, okay. But still, I understand the objective of your question, because so that they don't feel threatened from approaching me. So that's why I want to say, like, if you are 20 farmers, 100 farmers want to really experiment or try this, let's have the system, whatever system you need, free for a season, to a year, depending on the crop. I will happy to do that, and then if you see value, and then see that go. So I think Dr. Saravanan point is, like, let not cost not be the barrier from approaching me or implementing that such system. Uh, I'm removing them completely for a season or two. So if you are serious about implementing something, if you promise me you will use the system, we will definitely work with you to give it for free for some time, depending on the crop. If it is a long-term crop, we can give it for a year or two. If it is a small seasonal crop, 2 seasons, something like that. Will help you get your hands tried. If this thing is works, then we can talk about pricing. Sir, sorry, I didn't answer you directly, but is this okay, sir?
It's okay, and you don't want to tell, that's fine. Huh?
Okay.
But anything, something equity model, something you are having, you give software, and even afterwards it is some days free, and later on you work something like equity models. Because I see a lot of startups I want to support. That's why I'm asking. You work without taking the cost for your software. You can work something like equity model or something like that, or something you are taking some portion of whatever business they are doing, something like that you can do.
Sir, we have done it. Not we haven't done that for agriculture. Anything is, we can do that, sir. Like uh, I'm ready for it, sir. But I'm not. If the person who are working with me is ready for that, like, we can be a long-term partner, creating all the digital solutions for them. In turn, they share a small portion of their revenue. I'm happy with that model. Definitely, we haven't done that yet, but we can. I'm open to that, sir.
Yeah, your team, how it is, it works with many and even some 10 startups at a time coming also, you are able to work, or how it is? You need a lot of time, or how it is?
Sir,
How it is?
yes, sir. It's a very good question. So we have like 25 people with us. We have a lot of modules already, designed for we focus only on agriculture. So we have a lot of ready-made, modules. Depending on the new project, we need to bring them together and then set up a system. It's not developing from scratch usually. For this reason, our turnaround time is pretty quick. We can at least basic work you start working that with that within a month or two. Then, if you had advanced system, we can slowly bring that in. So we do that. So, but also other second part of your question is, can we handle 10 or 20 startups right away? Probably not. What we are doing is, like, any single time we take up 2 or 3 new work, until that project is 80% or 90% complete, we don't take up more work, sir. So this way we keep our sanity, and then we don't really delay things. So that, yeah, is sir.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. We have a second speaker ready with us.
Okay, thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the referrals. Thank you.
I request Sriram Ravi to start the session. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks for Manage for giving me this opportunity to share what we are doing in aquaculture, how we are applying IoT in agriculture.
Mr. Sriram Ravi, I've muted. Kindly request you to unmute your microphone.
Yeah, so you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Full screen, sir.
Yeah. Okay, are you able to see my full screen?
It's not a full screen, I guess, sir. Yeah, perfect, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, over the next few minutes, I would just like to walk you through on how we approached the problem in problems being faced in aquaculture, and how we came up with solutions like which were not there, and well, how we can apply technology to solve the on-ground problems being faced by the farmers. It's just like whatever we have done is for aquaculture, but uh, we can think through of many things, many problems which are happening in agriculture as well. Yeah. So just like few stuff about Aaka, like we were founded in 2012. So we were basically a set of engineers, basically a set of electronics and software engineers. We were working in industry for a while, but we thought like we would have some technology. Why can't we apply this technology in agriculture? That is when we were scouting for multiple things. That is when we landed up in aquaculture. India exports around $5 billion worth of marine seafood, and aquaculture is a high risk and high reward game. And if you see the pond, there is like a 25-acre pond, and it at least has some 50 lakhs worth of shrimp inside it, but there were no tools or technology to know what is happening underwater. So it is basically a black box compared to agriculture, where at least you can see the plant and assess whether it's growing and expect the yield. And even in other livestock like poultry and dairy farming, where you can actually see and assess what is happening, and you can take decisions. In aquaculture, everything happens underwater, but until the farmer harvests, it's like a lot of guesswork intuition and guesswork that he has to do to know what he's going to harvest and how much to feed it. So that is when we kind of thought like, okay, it's a good problem to solve. And the sector is also high risk and high rewarding, and people can also afford. So end of the day, once we produce a product, we also need to sell it and make it affordable to the farmer. That is why we narrowed down on aquaculture first. And all the products that we developed, we thank all the farmers in India who has helped us to communicate their solutions and helped us to do the field trials. And because of which we were able to fine tune and perfect our products, which we are selling across the globe. We are almost selling our products in almost like 10 countries. In almost like 13,000 hectares, we have deployed our products. So typically, like I'm talking more about extreme from the aquaculture perspective, but this can be correlated to other crops as well. So if you look at the main challenges for aquaculture, the daily tasks that the farmer do is like monitoring of the water quality. It would be like maybe 10 to 15% of his energy is spent on it, and the feed management is one more challenge. The feed, when you feed the fish or shrimp, like the feed sinks underwater, and you are a lot of guesswork and probability and analysis is done to assess whether the feeding is done right or not. And especially in aquaculture, 60% of their production costs or majority of the costs are spent on feed itself. And next thing is on the shrimp health. Shrimp is prone to many diseases, and farmer needs to closely observe what is happening underwater to the shrimp and make sure that he acts very quick to ensure that he avoids any losses or reduces his risk. So these were the main problems that we kind of addressed. Like these are the three pillars, like water quality, feed management, and shrimp health that we focused on. And we tailored our products to fill the gaps that the farmer is facing. So that is why that is when we have developed these IoT devices for different tasks that are done by the farmer, which can be done in a much more efficient manner to provide him with the real-time insights and data to take guesswork out of his daily tasks. Instead of guesswork, the IoT devices and data analytics provide him the real-time information and the real data, and he will be able to make correct decisions. I will talk about these products in detail. So PondGuard is our first product. So someone has mentioned that the slides are not clear. Is it the same for everyone or?
It's clear.
Okay, perfect. So for fish and shrimp, the medium is water, and for them to survive, they need to have like a good dissolved oxygen in the water. And if this dissolved oxygen is not maintained properly, it affects on the shrimp growth and survival. So same as humans, say we are able to live here because we have clean air and we are able to breathe good and we are healthy. But if we are in a place where we are suffocating, it makes us sick, and it also affects our health. Similarly, for shrimp and fish, the dissolved oxygen is a critical parameter. If it is not maintained properly, it would lead to fatal damages and mortalities. So this device helps the farmer to monitor the dissolved oxygen and ensures that an optimum level of oxygen is maintained. And if the oxygen is below some certain threshold, it alerts the farmer on there is a depletion, and farmer can take a preventive action to avoid it. And the challenge is, say these oxygen sensors are being used in multiple places, and say in wastewater treatment and everywhere, these oxygen sensors are used. But the challenge here is how do we make it farmer friendly? Especially, we don't want the farmers to do any calibration. And the other challenge is the algal formation will happen on the sensors. So we have worked on making them user friendly to ensure that the sensors and the probes, there is a cleaning mechanism to ensure that probe cleans by itself and the readings are intact. Otherwise, if you just say, if you deploy some sensor and if it is not user friendly, there is no point in claiming it as a real time or autonomous. So to do this, this is one more point that you need to keep in mind when we develop products for any sector, agriculture or any other sector. We need to ensure that they are rugged enough and they are maintenance free, because farmer is occupied with many other tasks. Unlike an industry, there are no dedicated teams to maintain the sensors. So farmer expects that the sensors has to work seamlessly. So we just need to ensure that. And the other thing is farmer in shrimp farming, they use aerators in their ponds. to ensure that the dissolved oxygen levels are maintained at an optimal state. But sometimes what happens is, irrespective of there are good dissolved oxygens, there is a good dissolved oxygen, farmer still turn on the aerators. So we have developed a product wherein by monitoring the dissolved oxygens, it gives a feedback to these aerators to control them on a real-time basis to ensure that aerators are used optimally, which led to almost like 30% savings in their power. Apart from that, apart from just turning on and turning off the aerators, we also monitor the real-time voltages and currents of these motors. And normally, like at least there is a wear and tear of these aerators because of improper maintenance. So we have used the data from these aerator from this our device to alert the farmer if something is going wrong in those aerators, which helps him to do some preventive maintenance of the aerators, which should avoid the damage of gearboxes and motor burnouts. So this is one more way that the same device with an addition of few sensors, we are able to create more value to the farmer. And the next thing is on the pond mother. So normally, like farmers just feed the shrimp 4 times a day. And the thing is, the shrimp feed, once you put the feed into the water, after 1.5 hours, it leaches away and all the feed gets wasted. So using this device, what it does is it sprays the feed 12 hours continuously, like say 500 grams in each cycle for every 5 minutes for the entire 12 hours or 15 hours. So this ensures that there is almost like zero wastage of feed. And we have automated this in terms of we added wireless connectivity to it, so farmer can control it from anywhere and see whether the unit is dispensing the feed or not. And also we also had some more sensors to it to ensure that we give feedback to the farmer on the device is operating right or not. And the entire device is made as solar powered to ensure that he doesn't need to bother about the energy, the power cuts and all those things, and the feeding will be continued. So so the challenge is like, so the pond mother is dispensing the feed, but we need to know what is the right amount of feed that we need to give to the pond, and that is what we have mastered. We have developed a sensor called, we have developed our own mechanism, shrimp talk. It's a mechanism wherein whenever the shrimp bites the feed, the sensor monitors the bites to assess the appetite of the shrimp, and it feeds right amount of feed at right time. So this is like an example, like say when we bite kurkure or Lays, we make some sound from our teeth. Similarly, when the shrimp chew these pellets, they make some sound. We capture that sound, and we have spent like significant amount of time R&D on this. Like we spent almost like 5 years on this. So because it's not just technology alone, but it's also the shrimp behavior that we need to understand before we roll out the technology to the farmers. It's not just we develop one sensor and say it works. So the greatest strength of our company is we learn a lot from the field, from the farmers' experience. We collect that. So there are some farmers without machines also they get the best results because they have very much attention to what they do at the pond level. We work with farmers like that to understand what are the best practices that they are following, and we embed those best practices into our products and algorithms to replicate that the best results to all the farmers in the globe. So that is how our thing is. It's not that we are a technology guy and we know everything. So there are very good farmers, there are very efficient and humble farmers everywhere in every sector that we need to approach and learn as a technologist. It's not that you develop one sensor. We need to be grounded. We need to learn what is happening on the field interact with the farmers. I would say the greatest strength of the company is we spend 70% of the time interacting with the farmers and on-ground trials, and only 30% on the technology development. And because of which we are able to know what the farmer requires and deliver to exactly his needs. So for anyone in the sector or anyone who is going to start in the sector, I would advise you guys to be very grounded, to know what is reality and focus on that. And technology and on-ground learning has to go hand in hand to become successful. So this is this is our product. This is how the shrimp talk looks like. It's a sensor which goes and monitors the underwater sounds, and it ensures that the right amount of feed is fed to the shrimp at the right time. And it helps farmers to reduce the feed wastage, and also helps it knows when to feed, at what time to feed, to give best output to the so it's like when the shrimp requires more feed, we need to feed them more. When they requires less feed, we need to feed them less. So this ensures that we get the best feed conversion ratio, the amount of feed we put into the pond and amount of shrimp we harvest, that we call as the feed conversion ratio, that we, using this device, we get that to very optimal level. So this is how a typical response happens. So if you see this, like the device works for 24 hours a day, and you can see the feeding activity happening at like starts at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it all goes till like 10 o'clock in the night. And this varies on a day-to-day basis based on the weather condition and also the shrimp molting cycles and few other parameters. So this is where our device helps them for autonomous feeding of the shrimp. So what we call it as acoustic feeding plus intelligence. So when we, this is what we call like how the data is helping us. So when we are just feeding the shrimp based on the response, there are sometimes that the shrimp also is very aggressive and demands more feed, but that extra feed intake is not going to get converted into the biomass or the growth of the shrimp. And that is when we have to learn and put the right breaks to ensure that we feed them to a certain limit, and we don't tune according to the shrimp demand, which will drive us crazy. Say it's ultimately we also need to consider the pocket of the farmer and make it pocket friendly. It's like you keep more as the shrimp is demanding more feed, and your sensor says to feed it more, and you feed it more. End of the day, farmer loses the money. So here we put some intelligence to know what is the right amount of feed. So we need to balance between the growth and the profitability of the farmer, and we feed them to an optimal stage. And that is what we learn with the data that we get from multiple devices, and we make those changes in the algorithms. And it's a continuous evolution. So right now we have gone into a stage, at least we are the one company in the world who can say what is the right amount of feed to be fed to the shrimp. That is with the strength of the data that we got and the continuous learning of the data. So people talk about, the other thing I talk about is a lot of people talk about we collect this much of data and all those things. Unless the data is analyzed and converted into insights, and insights has to be translated into actions, and the actions have to be translated into results. Ultimately, farmer doesn't care about what is your device. Ultimately, farmer cares what is the result that he is getting. So we need to act in such a manner that we need to analyze the data in detail in a more from the farmer-centric perspective to ensure that we give the best result to the farmer. Until that, for the farmer, this device is a black box. We need to put a lot of efforts to ensure that we give the right results to the farmers. So as a company, if we look at how we have evolved ourselves, so initially we started with pond automation, like monitoring of dissolved oxygen and giving the data to the farmer and automating the feed. So then we added the intelligence part to it with precision feeding. We developed a sensor to ensure that the feeding is automated to feed the precise feed to the shrimp. So now with the data that we are getting, so we have evolved ourselves to place wherein what is the value that we can give beyond precisely feeding the shrimp. So it is in terms of biomass estimation. So across the globe, the major challenge is no one has a solution to tell how much amount of shrimp is present underwater. There are no solutions at the moment. So we have developed a solution wherein we can at least estimate biomass with 80% accuracy. We are working rigorously on it. To grow by 5% to accuracy is to grow by 5% accuracy, it takes at least 2 years for us. So from 80%, if we want to go to 85%, it at least takes us 2 years. That is the amount of effort that we put into each data point and each pond to improve our accuracy. Say to grow from we were initially at 50% to grow to 80%, it took 2 years. But what we see is to grow to at least 90%, it would take us 4 more years. So that is the amount of effort that we need to put on ground to continuously learn this data and improve it. And we are also helping the farmer on what is the health index, whether the shrimp are in a healthy condition or if they are in a sick condition. And this will ensure that, okay, whether it's, this will give him some decision, help him in decision making, whether to continue the culture of the pond or whether they can harvest this. And we also help him in what is the right, say sometimes farmers are crazy about growing the bigger shrimp that they'll give more money. But we also give them analytics, what is the right size of the shrimp that they can grow to and what is the profitability index. So these are all the things that we help as a farmer to the farmer. It's not just we manufacture and sell the devices, but now we look at the shrimp farming as a holistic perspective to ensure that we give the right value to the farmer for what he pays for us. And we had a great team for the last 8 years. We had a good teamwork because the great support that we received from our farmer friends in India. We were able to take our products to all these countries across the globe, and we would be taking to every shrimp farming country in the next 2 years. Yes. So this looks like it took us time to understand this sector and evolve this. So it's not a short-term game that when we enter into agriculture, we need to have a longer-term perspective, longer-term outlook to develop the products of this scale. So I wish everyone who are part of this seminar to kind of, there are a lot of problems being faced by farmers in agriculture, and there is scope for a lot of technology intervention in agriculture. I wish each crop can be taken and we can put efforts and improve the yields and should bring smiles onto the farmers across the globe, not just in India. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, real-time data makes users to take the right decisions, and thanks for throwing some light on, the arid sectors, aquaculture, regarding the IoTs. And the session is open for Q&A. Request the audience to post the questions in the chat box, or also they can speak the questions. Thank you.
Hello, Sriram.
Yeah.
I am Arnab speaking from Impeccable Innovations Private Limited, Bangalore.
Hi.
Wanted to, yeah, wanted to know what are the other applications of your technology can be there other than the shrimp farming? Like, can it also help in measuring the dissolved oxygen in a wastewater in a palm oil plantation?
Yes, the sensor can be used in those places as well. But as a company, we have more focus. So monitoring digital oxygen is one part of our company. So as a company, we are focused on aquaculture segment, but we are also looking at applying these probes in multiple other places. Like even we get some requests on using these probes in hydroponics as well.
Mr. Arnab, I've unmuted you. You can unmute and talk. Thank you.
Yeah, how can we reach them? Any website or any phone number?
Yeah, I gave email, so anyone can reach. I gave my email in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir,
Mr. Varaprasad, go with your question. Yeah, you are audible.
Mr. Varprasad, please go ahead.
yeah. Is there any technology regarding fish?
No, sir. Like we are also working on tailor making our solutions for fish farmers as well. In like next 1 year, we started working on them. In next 1 year, we will be having for solutions for fish farmers as well, sir. May I know from which place you are?
Sir, actually, from my wife is from Gudivada, so we are having a good fish pond there. Hello.
Yes, sir.
And I am working in central government right now. After that, we want to switch over to our culturing only fiscal. So I am looking for this type of IoT based things only because we can't. If technology is there, we can manage the people also, no? So there we have encountered multiple problems that one the fish will come up means after death the fish will be floated up.
Exactly.
We didn't get when it is going to happen all at a time. If it is has been grown more means one day 100 to 200 fish used to come up after death.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So to avoid that, we need some technology based thing, and we are looking for that actually.
Okay, sir.
To kindly give you a mail address and everything. I am working in DMI, Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Ministry of Agriculture.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
I'll keep on watching your site and the things.
Yeah. So actually, we are based in Vijayawada itself, sir. If you happen to visit us, maybe you can come over to our
your
place.
address and everything, sir, so I can meet you directly.
Yeah, I have put my email ID there, sir, and you can drop me an email.
And also, my father-in-law used to do this shrimp culture also. What is the cost of your IoT-based instruments?
So now what we have done, sir, like to make it very user-friendly for the farmers, what we have done is instead of selling the devices, and shrimp farming is also very risky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we have been doing is we have been giving our devices on a rental basis, on a subscription basis. So it is not like we made it like we give it for $130, like 10,000 rupees a month, the whole set of our devices.
Very nice.
So just for the months they use, they just pay for those months, and after that, well, if they continue the crop, we'll just continue the devices, or else we take it out, refurbish them, and put it to some other
Very
farmer.
nice. Service will be provided. Hello.
Sir?
Service will be provided.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the entire thing would be taken care by us, sir. So once we give the devices on subscription, the entire responsibility to ensure that the devices run 100% of the time is the liability of the company.
Okay.
So unlike what was happening is farmers were buying technology, and after a while, company they find it hard to get the support and everything, and lot of
Yeah.
lie on the ponds itself without being used. Our agenda is we want every device to be used more efficiently, and every device has to give benefit and results to the farmer. That's the motive of the company.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Get me your contact details and everything, sir. It will be very useful for upcoming farmers like us.
I have put it my thing in the chat, sir. Sriram@agriculture.com. You can reach out to me, sir. We'll also listen to what are the challenges in fish farming, and we can tailor make for that as well, sir.
Thank you, sir. So kind of you. Thank you.
Mr.
Sriram, this is Sagar from Managed Team. We have two questions from the participants. The first one is, did you install any system in the Kerala, or are you in touch with any government institutions there who can expand it? And the second is, what is the size, farm size? Is there any like minimum or maximum size which can be optimally used with for integration of the devices?
Yeah, so we haven't installed the devices in Kerala. So we have installed our devices in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat and Goa. So it would be great. We can get in touch with you to, if you can send us the information, we can get in touch with them to explore the opportunity to install in Kerala. So the minimum size of this is like we at least require a 1 acre pond. That's the minimum size that we require to install this. And on the upside, we don't have any limitation. In some of the countries, we have installed these devices in a 40 acre pond as well. So, and it's like based on the number of shrimp, we suggest the total number of devices to be used in the pond. Yeah.
Okay. So as you are providing the support to the farmers, not only in terms of the device, but also in terms of the ideal practice to be followed, is there any prerequisite that farmer should have?
No, farmer doesn't need to have. So our devices are tailored. So we have considered all the pond conditions. So we can just put our devices in the ponds, and they will just work seamlessly.
Okay.
So there is one question, like acoustic feeding is applicable for shrimp farming or other kind of fish. So the acoustic feeding right now is custom made for shrimp, but we are working on to a different mechanism, feedback mechanism to feed the fish optimally as well. By end of 2021, we'll be having a solution for that.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, in case if the pond gets flooded during the season of floods, so is there any remedial for that?
For the floods?
For the floods, in case of floods.
In terms of controlling the ponds, or the devices getting floated away? So in case of floods, normally like we faced this situation in towards end of November and December in Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh as well. So the kind of the farmer has to take some preventive action, like based on the rainfall, he kind of predicted, and he made sure that he got all the devices to the bank, and he had harvested his ponds early. That is means these are all the decisions that they need to take in terms of minutes and hours to save their crop.
Are there any more questions for Mr. Sriram?
It's also something like an interesting point that you made up. I think it's also a part like we can think of adding some weather indications to our portal or mobile app so that it can give some warning, flood warnings or heavy rainfall warnings, so that the farmer can be prepared to take some actions for these natural calamities.
Now you may ask questions for both of the experts. You can refer to whom you are asking.
Shriramji, do you have any current competitors in your space, and how you are managing the competition in shrimp farming assistance?
Yeah, right now what we say is shrimp. Shrimp is the major competitor for us. Understanding the shrimp itself is a major challenge. So we daily compete to see whether shrimp is intelligent or Aaka is intelligent. So that is where we kind of challenge ourselves. So the only way that we kind of differentiate ourselves is how do we give the real value and the holistic value to the customers. If you see right now, even in the entire globe, less than 1% or 2% of the ponds are digitized. So there is a 90%, 98% opportunity to grow in this sector. It's only like we challenge, irrespective of competition, we challenge ourselves on a daily basis on how we can give better results to the farmer. So that is the approach of the company instead of following someone else or doing something else.
Okay, then if there are no more questions, then we may move towards conclusion. Kaushik?
Okay, sir. I thank all the speakers for giving their excellent sessions, and request Dr. Saravanan Raj, Director of Agricultural Extension, National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, and CEO of Manage CIA, to give the closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you very much for both the speakers, and Mr. Sriram and Mr. Gautam. It was very interesting to hear from both of you, and I hope a lot of startups are having a lot of interest in these type of technologies and application aspects. We may take one-on-one with some of the startups. Even we have startups working in exclusive and fisheries. They may be interested. Even we have 10 states and we are grounded something like 20 aqua centers. They are working with large number of farmers, and the NFDB aqua centers, maybe Sriram might be knowing. Many places it is a mixed reaction working. Somewhere it is not good, somewhere it is fine, because many others are implementing. But manage implementing some 20 aqua centers in 10 states actually. Our aqua centers maybe like to partner with you, because they are actually supposed to provide solutions to the farmers. They are working large number of farmers, and along with advisory, they are also providing inputs and many other things. We may be happy to have separate session with our own 20 aqua centers across the country. They are having this 20 centers in 10 states they are having, and we will be happy to once again to discuss with you. And also we have some startups very exclusive on some fisheries related. Somebody may be mostly complementing each other. Maybe they like to have some of the technologies from side also. We may discuss. Sagar, you can take it up with our Aquaculture centers and also with Sriram. And something we can together we can do, and these 20 centers some support we can provide, even manage can coordinate, because this all managed and coordinated by managed and funded by the NFDB, National Fisheries Development Board. We may like to Sriram's inputs we can take, and we can discuss with all the our Aquaculture centers. They are working up to Northeast also. Some of them in Northeast, Manipur and many states they are doing good.
Okay, nice work, sir. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll learn from what they're doing and see. Maybe it's also learning for us, so we can work together to give better solutions to the farmers. Thank you very much, sir.
thank you very much. And fisheries has the great potential actually. This type of technologies we need to engage. And Gautam, thank you very much. And really, it is very interesting. And maybe a lot of our other startups, maybe agriculture and allied sector, these type of applications they are looking for. They are working different areas, and they might be looking for something ICT or IoT, whatever related application aspects. And really, we have 200 plus agri startups, and we can discuss with that also with separately with all our startups, maybe one-on-one or something like that group we can discuss, and we can get the requirements. We can work in the maybe making networking with these type of our startups may be helpful for both way. Our startups also, of course, you also one of our startup, but you are as a service provider, we want to see you. That will be good for many other our startups. And yeah, thank you very much for joining. And that too, all are busy, and Christmas holidays and New Year's coming. Still, you joined with us. Actually, we are not planned this. We thought all are busy in holidays like that. But up to last 11 webinars, there are a lot of Saturday webinars, lot of interest, and many people are attending. Then without stopping, we'll go ahead. Let us see whether holidays they are taking or they will come. But today, maybe the one of the large numbers I see 150. To our surprise, they are not registered for today's webinar. Okay. We planned only 11 webinars, and we asked them to register. Today's participant, just yesterday we given mail, and just we given those who are earlier participants of other webinars, and just we given only yesterday. Last minute we thought instead of stopping, we'll go with our webinar like that. But really today is very interesting session, and many of them they are interested in this type of technologies. We will see that still we'll take forward, and so that it will be helpful for large other startups and other things also. And thank you very much. And I also thank all my team members, Dr. Sagar and Yuvraj and Kausik and all the participants. Thank you very much, and have a great year again. 2021 we are getting with all difficulties of COVID, and again new strain, other things. We have the difficult times with all the things, and lot of hope also. Maybe technology, other things gives a lot of solutions. And we wish for everybody on behalf of Manage, we will wish you the Happy New Year, and thank you very much. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Manage CI team thanks the speakers for sharing the experiences, and we take the opportunity to thank our Director General, Manage, and Director Agriculture Extension for their support in all the endeavors. And we shall update you on social media handles regarding the upcoming Saturday webinar series. Thank you, and belated Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year to one and all. Thank you.
Wishes to you.
Thank you.